I think I'd underestimated South Africa when I first went, principally from a landscape point of view. I just hadn't anticipated how incredibly wild and diverse and untouched it was. I think you can always tell a big country by the straightness of their roads. I think they normally, you expect those in America, these long, endless roads that just drive through incredible country, and you get the same in South Africa, but it's just lush and gorgeous and beautiful. It's unexpected. The crashing of the waves, the drama of the landscape, I think is really, it grabs you. Cape Town, again, it totally took me by surprise because it's a big city, ostensibly, and yet, in fact, it's a small, low-key seaside town. There's something very kind of clapboard house and flip-flops and sandy sandwiches about it. But with these incredible restaurants, the first time I went was maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and at that point it was really low-key. And after that, I've noticed little areas popping up, amazing furniture shops, great mad hair designers, tattoo artists, cool little boutiques, great music venues, but it's not shishi. I still think it's kept a kind of windswept, slightly rough around the edges aspect to it. There's a downtownness to it, which gives it a buzz, but it's kind of utterly unoverwhelming, and I mean that in the nicest way. It's got a very, very laid-back, easy vibe. Incredibly good food, incredibly lovely, happy people who are just charming and are interested in kids, and these great wide open beaches. I mean, it has everything. The Tatler reader is incredibly well-travelled and is incredibly demanding and is incredibly difficult in the best possible sense of that word, in that they will have travelled extensively and be very demanding about the quality that they're after. And I think that this again is another thing that's not necessarily expected of South Africa, is the quality of the places that you find there. I think as time has gone on, the restaurants and the food has become famous, how good it is. In Franschhoek, it's crazy. You've got kind of 8 award-winning restaurants down a promiscuous street that's no longer than my finger. Cape Town, Johannesburg, the same. But it's also the quality of the places that you stay. Out in the bush, somewhere like Singita, I think, was probably what I would call the first super lodge, a lodge that did something out in the bush that was totally design savvy and beautiful and gorgeous, but without it being phony, without it being insincere, that completely threw a new light on how you could stay out in the bush away from the tent and the bucket shower. And I think as time has gone on, particularly in the Kruger, the quality of these super lodges, just when you think they've peaked, it just gets higher and higher and higher. Probably the trip that I would like to do that I haven't done involves getting in a car and driving with a tent in the back, because I think however smart and fabulous and gorgeous all these wonderful places are, and my God, South Africa has it in spades, I think it's that country that is always going to grab you and be the real sucker punch. So I'd love to wing it in a car.